Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called First Time in Sweden, Exploring Stockholm. So yes, I know that Stockholm is probably like the biggest city in Sweden. This looks very exciting. Let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Today we're exploring Sweden for the first time. We want to visit modern and old Stockholm, a cathedral, the touristy trinket stores, and even try a traditional Swedish practice called fika.
Oh, yeah, it looks delicious.
Let's go explore Sweden!
Woohoo!
Nice weather.
One first impression I have is the architecture is very different from the rest of Europe. Each of the windows has like an overhang.
Yeah.
Like an awning, kind of.
That weird circular thing that they had over there, that was like a little weird. And is that a 7-Eleven? I didn't know they had those in over there.
What a great day to explore Sweden! The weather is awesome. It's not too cold, believe it or not. The streets are so walkable. Everyone's
surprisingly sunny.
out and about. It's great. One thing that's kind of very intricate and small, but something I like to look at with every country is the different symbols they put on the like walk signs.
Crosswalk,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in Sweden they have like two little guys walking. Over there, Central
What's with the
Station, a Mercedes taxi. Look at that.
So weird.
What?
One thing I'm already noticing is
I was gonna say the like that's how you know a country's rich, where like the taxis and the cabs, you know, they are Mercedes.
contrast between old and new. On this side you have this old classic
very beautiful
building, and on that side it's this modern glass one.
Prefer the
in the cars
older
too. You
one.
also have these old Volkswagen things, and then you have just taxis that are Tesla. Weird.
Honestly, I prefer the old cart and the old building. They look gorgeous.
Weird blend here of modern and new. So many of these husks.
Oh yeah,
on the ground.
but they have cobblestones.
I wonder if Buckeyes are native to Sweden too.
I was wondering that too. That'd be kind of crazy.
We're from the Ohio, the Buckeye
The Buckeye State. OH.
I-O. Look at that cathedral. I just looked it up, and I was curious about like the religion, the most common religions here in Sweden. It was a Catholic country, and then it converted into Protestantism. But I bet we're gonna see a lot of cathedrals and churches around town. Wow. Just stepped in.
It's actually, yeah, it's true. Like, what's up with the cathedrals if they're, yeah, but well, they're, whatever, yes, of course. So you have a lot of cathedrals and churches, of course.
God, it's absolutely gorgeous in here.
It is beautiful. Wow. Is that gold? Probably not.
There's a bird in the cathedral. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Man, love, look at that organ.
This is huge. This is a huge cathedral.
Sweden's gorgeous.
It is.
By and large, in our first 30 minutes outside.
Definitely. Wyatt, look at that skyline. That skyline is probably like one of the most beautiful I've ever seen in a while.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. We're in Sweden. Yes.
You're so excited. I would be too if I were in Sweden. Oh, all those boats.
So Sweden's super environmentally friendly, so I bet this water is clean. It's always just way too polluted in traditional
Bro, it's clean, but still I wouldn't swim in it.
Western countries. But here it's so clean, they're fishing. That is crazy.
Oh, they're fishing?
I've never seen that.
Can you do that? I don't know. I would think that's illegal.
Okay, those bells have been going for straight up 5 minutes.
Oh my god, okay. I love this part. All those buildings are gorgeous.
Get those knees up.
Oh. Oh, this is so nice. They have like the trees make it like a farm.
We are now in Västerlångatan. I don't know if I pronounced that right, which is like a street with a ton of souvenir shops and restaurants. Great place to get something to bring back home, it seems.
Should I get the traditional red one? He spoke to me. He's on a swing.
What is that?
I'm digging the patterns you see in the trinket shops. There's like Vikings vibes.
Yeah.
You got mooses, wolves, Swedish stuff.
Okay, to me the moose is like a very Canadian thing. But apparently Swedish as well.
Hessens are like little decorated horses that they have, and they're very Swedish. And my more
That to me is weird. I think I've seen those horses before, but I can't remember like where. But if I've seen them.
my grandma would give them to us all the time as kids, along with tomtas, which I've also seen around here.
Oh,
which
that
are
is
like
Swedish.
little like Swedish trolls, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call them, which are super cute.
Huge beards.
We could like be walking these streets all day.
We really could be. I think we are going to try to get some fika, though. If you're Swedish, you know what that means. We're going to explain it when we get there.
Love it. Those streets look very, very, very pretty. Oh. Okay.
I love Europe. Other places you have to pay so much
more. Yeah.
Here, it's just endlessly flowing.
Okay, I have questions about this. It's always clean. People can drink it. Sure, it's a water fountain, but don't you have like? Why is it always running? Isn't this wasting water? What is this?
Drinkable fresh water.
It looks quite
We're gonna
old.
drink here.
Yeah. Can we have one of those? Thank you. Talk.
Is this fika? Oh, it looks so good.
Is that
How come you only have one coffee?
is it?
Get two.
Called a Budapest.
Budapest?
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's really like fluffy and it kind of just like melts in your mouth. I also like the chocolate drizzle on top. It makes me like it more than I thought it was going to.
Is that a
I'm not
peach?
a
What
big
is
fan
that?
of fruity desserts, but this
Okay.
is really good.
So
It
this
looks
is
good.
fika, and what we're doing is fika. It's like a Swedish. It's both a noun and a verb for the eating a pastry with.
I love an out and a
We're doing
burp.
fika.
Woohoo! For fika.
Rika fika.
Rika fika.
Found that tree with spiky fruit on it. I wonder
What is that?
if we can get one.
Oh my god! Do not grab it.
Oh, I got one. A lot of cool flora here, even in the city of Stockholm. Look at that spiky fruit. That is sick.
I wouldn't eat it though.
Okay, we're on our way to get some dinner. Got some Swedish kroner. It's green. 200 kroner. Oh,
100?
200 kroner. Look
Oh,
at that.
200.
Isn't that cool though? It's
Who's that?
interesting, you know, you would think that because Sweden is in the EU, it would use the euro,
Yeah.
but they have their own currency. Could we get 2 broad falafel? Oh, help you out. They look great.
Yeah, they look good.
Cheers.
I was expecting to eat something Swedish, but this looks
We
good.
love falafel.
Oh, looks delicious.
thing we eat in Europe.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Except for food tour days.
What a wonderful day. I'm so thankful to be in Sweden. I feel like it's such just an iconic country. You
It
know?
is.
If you want to see more Swedish adventures, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it, and you'll be notified whenever we make a new video.
See you later.
Peace out, guys.
Okay, I loved it. I think like this video, like it looks so fun. It's like you're like, yeah, they're very enthusiastic. So it's like, yeah, I wanna go to Sweden as well because everything looks like so incredibly good. I don't know, like where they did mention like what part of Stockholm specifically like they were. It was Baster, whatever. I think it was Baster. Maybe it was something with an S actually. I do not remember. But I think like they were, from my understanding, is that this was part of like the old town, like because I think like Stockholm is sort of like divided, even though like he showed us like a clip earlier on of like a very old building, and obviously they have like more modern ones, just like, you know, living with each other. It's not just like they're separated. But I think usually, like, apparently, like, Stockholm is sort of, like, divided between, like, the old town and probably, like, the newer town. I don't know how they call it. Oh, they just call Stockholm, and specifically when you're referring to, like, the old part, like, you would say, like, it's old town, as in, like, the Stockholm, like, of a very specific era. Which I get. I know that. I mean, this. I don't know how old is Stockholm. Like, it's gotta be one of the oldest like cities in Europe. I know that a lot of places in Europe are very, very old, but I do not know. I would love to have seen like, but maybe it's not like an historical sort of like tour, or I know historical sort of, or architectural sort of like gathering or tour, because all those buildings look like gorgeous. And I wanted to know, like, okay, is it really old, or is this like that type of like buildings that try to replicate a thing of an older time and then the past, or is it an actual historical building that's been around for 200 years, 300 years? But yeah, I would love it. But I know that I understand that it's not really the purpose. Like, unless you're taking probably an historical sort of like tour, they're not going to show you this. But I think like if I were Swedish, I would rally. I would be like, hey, can we put like little plaques on the buildings of that are sort of like historical, that have some historical importance, or just they're just very old, because I think like older things like should be preserved. So I don't know, like put a little plaque on each building with like the year it was founded, and probably like I don't know what it used to be. And if it's not, no, we don't know what it used to be, but it's like, okay, well, we know it's old, so maybe like oh, built in like I don't know 1700. But I do love like how architectural like everything looked. Like I love how like everything looked very pretty. All the cobblestone streets as well. Like I love it. I think it looks like a very nice place to just, at least the area they were in, it looked like a very nice area to just walk and just sort of like explore the town just by walking. Then some cities I think are better seen, or maybe not always, but I think sometimes like you really get a sense of like, oh, this would be like a good city to like explore by car, or sometimes even like public transport, which I know is like enemy number one sometimes. But I think either sometimes like maybe it's like in cities that are probably like a little bit bigger, like sometimes like if you have like public transport or by car, it is quite like nice to just like drive around and actually get to see like a lot of the pretty things that are in the city. But in this case, at least in this area, I think it's just like the perfect opportunity to just sort of like, I'll just walk, and you just sort of like walk around, and all the wonderful areas, like because again, they look very walkable in a way that I really do like it. Like it looks like a really good place to like explore by when you're just like walking around, which I love, because it's perfect for a vacation. It's just like, well, what are we doing today? It's like, we're just gonna walk around and stop at every sort of like spot that seems interesting. I do love the little city, not the city, the little street. I don't know what's the street, an area, I have no idea. But where there was like very packed with tourists, which okay, I tell them like it's very popular. But they had all the like trinket shops, like they looked so good. I wanted to stop. I was like, oh come on, stop there. They have all a bunch of like cool things, and I know that you're probably a lot of people will tell you like, do not like when you're traveling, you're on vacation. And you obviously want to get like a little, I don't know, you want a little something for people. And sometimes like you get, I don't know, like some sort of candy, some sort of like food that you can actually transport like through customs. But sometimes of course you just want to like, get them something. But I think usually, maybe less so these days, but I think like, you would get them like a shirt or probably a hat, which are nice, of course. But I think like this little kind of things of like, you appear like a little sculpture of a moose that apparently is very Swedish. I did not know. Or the little troll situation, or a little horse. Well, the horse I think could be a little bit like, why do I put this in my suitcase? But the other thing of like the little trolls and stuff, like I like that. It's like really good. I think I prefer that to a shirt, because it's like a little more, I don't know, original probably. I think it shows you like, it's quite original. Like to actually to get it, I would get it for myself actually, but maybe again I would get it for other people. Yes, of course, because I was thinking about you, so I'm giving you a little troll or a little moose. But like some of these things look extremely cool, and I wouldn't like, no, I'm not taking this for other people, not as gifts. I'm actually buying this for myself, and I think it would be a great conversation starter. Like if you're like, for instance, like the little troll, imagine that in like a keychain. Probably people are going to see you like, what is that? It's like, it's a Swedish thing. I would love to know the history behind this, of course. It's like, I do not know. I know that it's Swedish because I've seen it before over there, but I do not know the meaning. I don't know. I can't remember the names. I just know that they're like a very Swedish thing. But the moose, I did not know that the moose apparently was like, is it like the national animal? Or I don't know, is some sort of importance. Of course, you're expecting Viking things, because yes, I think most people would associate Sweden with like either Vikings or Viking, like the Viking period, or just like Vikings in general, which, of course, yes, I'm glad, but I think there's like a little more like, I can't remember the other animal, but it is really funny about the moose situation. I think like something that's probably the most shocking parts about this video, at least to me, there were two. Like one, 7-Eleven, apparently they have 7-Eleven in Sweden, which I had no idea. Maybe it's just Stockholm, I do not know. still doesn't cease to shock me. I think it's like, I don't know, I associate that with like, what do you guys like, what's up with this? Like, how come Stockholm has a 7-Eleven? I think to me, like, that's very strange. But again, maybe I'm the weird one. And the other thing that was like a little shocking was the little water fountain. Not because of they have water fountains in, I know that they have those like throughout Europe, which it's water, it's free. Like, it was like, oh my God, you don't have to pay for water. It's like, yes, of course, like, it's not really common. Like, in the US, that's not really a thing. Like, you always have to pay for water. It's always bottled. You know, it's a whole thing. I think like, in Europe, like, if you want bottled water, obviously they'll give it to you. But I think tap water is usually safe to drink. I think, like, always check, of course. Like, if you're new in a country and you're traveling and you're visiting or whatever, still always check if the tap water is drinkable. You know, of course, it's a good idea to check. But I think usually in Europe, I think they are quite like it's like most countries. I think like it is very it's normal, it's drinkable. But my like little like wait what like because I've seen like older like water fountains, but. And this one looked beautiful, like absolutely, it looked very, like visually, it looked very pretty, like the design. But I didn't really understand why it almost looked like, I don't know, like a pipe, just like a pipe that's broken. It's like, oh my God, do you guys need to fix this? Because it's like constantly flowing. So if it's constantly flowing, like, I didn't get to see like if there maybe like the water goes somewhere, but that doesn't really make any sense, right? Because if the water goes somewhere, like the drain shaft is still going to be dirty. Like it's going to get dirty when it hits the floor or whatever surface is sort of like hitting it. So I do not know. Like it's not what I mean with that. It's not like recycled water. Also, where is this water going? Maybe they use it for like, I don't know, some other things in the city, like for like water tanks. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some, because I know that again, Sweden, like it's a very like green country. So if it's a green country and they're very like, the environment is really like on their minds. I'm surprised. I don't think like they're wasting this water probably, but it's a little strange. It's constantly flowing, and I'm like, why are we wasting water? I do not like this. It's like you need like to turn it off. And obviously it's like, oh, if you're drinking, yeah, you press the button. The other things that I really liked were obviously like the food. The food like looked delicious. The fika one, oh my God, the fika. I was surprised that they only had like one dessert. Well, it's not dessert, it's fika. But that little pastry, they only had like one pastry and one coffee. Because it's like, oh my God, you guys like have 2 coffees and have 2 pastries. Like, yeah, you know, half and half. We split up and you'll eat half and I'll eat half. That dessert, the Budapest, I think it was, looked delicious. Like all that cream, I think it was like whipped cream, some sort of like fruit situation. I think it was peach and more cream, like it had whipped cream and a chocolate drizzle. Delicious, absolutely, it looked incredible, love it. And as well, I think I was a little bit surprised. The falafel looked great, like I have to say, it looked great. Oh, it looked so fluffy, like it looked delicious. But I was expecting to maybe like have something more Swedish, because it's like, oh, like when in Rome, like if I'm in Stockholm, I'm gonna have a traditional sort of like Stockholm food. I don't know, maybe because I'm thinking like very traditional Swedish things and like, you know, like the meatballs and yeah, like the meatballs. But maybe actually falafel is probably quite popular in Stockholm, and maybe that's why they were having it. Like, oh, it is very popular because even though obviously they have their own traditional sort of like dishes and people obviously have that, but maybe as a country, like as a culture, probably they're very into falafel, which maybe that's what it is. It's like it's very popular over there. I would be like maybe as in like London curry, which I know that it's pretty big over there. And if technically it's not, obviously curry is not a British thing, like it's very a London thing, because there's like so many like curry places that it's sort of like it has become part of the sort of like London culture. So maybe that's the case with Stockholm, which I would love to know if that's the case, because that was maybe like a little my impression. But again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That was just like what I believe. But yes, this was great. Now I want to go to Sweden and explore this part of Stockholm. And I want to go to that street, and I want to buy all those bunch of trinkets, because they looked incredible. And that was it for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.